Oh shit. Here we go again. Welcome to your monthly water tribe report for Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Last but not least, we are going to break down the water sign transits for Libra. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's do it. All right. Shout out to those of you in the chat, whether you are joining us on Instagram. I see Makena Subira is representing Team Cancer. Okay. And it's nice to see where we have all kind of developed. There we go. Whew. This, of course, is going to be accurate for you, whether you have a Pisces sun, Scorpio sun, Cancer sun, Cancer rising, Scorpio rising, Pisces rising. What the fuck? All right, cool. All right. So yeah, we're gonna get straight into this. Yep. Wet gang. Shout out to the wet gang. You already know what it is. Yes, sir. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Yep. I was a little distracted to respond to an email real quick. Okay, so that being said, let's get this show on the road. This is really interesting because as of now, the moon is in Sagittarius, and this is an aspect I want to really look into for the next 7 years. It is an aspect that we won't necessarily have forever, but I think is going to be one of the most magical oppositions we will have every 2 weeks, every 28 days, but it's going to every 2 weeks really activate, harvest, activate, harvest. And that is the moon opposite Uranus, the highly magical. Okay. And then it's going to be sextiling Pluto. It's going to be trining Neptune. This is going to really make do for mass synchronization, like at a universal level, taking the conjunction we do every 2 weeks from Moon Uranus and Gemini, and then of course breaking through the vision of how we are at a monthly basis supernaturally innovating our mind and thoughts, so that of course every moon in Virgo, where we begin to analyze how we bring tangibility to our habits of this mindset, now we're seeing its shaping of our philosophy. Now we're seeing the meaning of how this update of our minds changes what we perceive. And that's a fancy way of saying it is adjusting how well you can see into the supernatural. So this is quickening your brain's processing and the way your mind perceives, so that you can see more of what has already been happening. And I think that's freaking awesome. Okay, so this is happening during, of course, this activation with the sun in Libra. And yeah, we saved the best tribe for last. So let's jump right into Cancer. Cancer. If we got the Cancer sun and moon, I'm a progressed Cancer rising and progressed Cancer sun. So I actually forgot this is actually going to be pretty applicable for me as well. So with that being said, Cancer Nation, shout out to you. We know Libra is the fourth house, okay? And I like the psychology of water signs because now air pawn the ascendant, Cancer pawn the ascendant. The air signs, of course, work as water purifiers. So without purification, water grows moldy or it just starts to get corrupted. And now the irrational nature of water, which is going to, like the wind, flow here and there, needs air to be its rationality. And with the balance of objectivity, it enables water to not just be irrational. This is what enables you to have feelings, but to not necessarily project an irrational, moody sense of emotions in objective, rational spaces. Albeit there's an opposite way of this with which air can use this to gaslight the bejesus out of water. And it's actually one of my favorite things ever about being an air sign, the fact that we can effortlessly gaslight water signs. But it's still a very important purification, balancing quality, right? Cancer, you're going to have your individual feelings, but Libra is going to be the balance with which you are in social spaces. So now, of course, the way I feel about your hat and how I think that makes you fat, I'm not going to just tell you that. Libra is going to really polish a way with which I can balance more altruistically, less selfish way, right? I can just tell you that. I could be like Aries and be like, your breath fucking smells. Or I could be like Libra and I could be like, here's a stick of gum. No, take it. No, I insist, please. You feel me? It's still forward, but there's that balance between raw ratchetivity and then class, balanced class. And in between, we have the sincerity of Cancer. The Charlemagne the God is going to tell you how he feels, right? So this is where, we're integrating this social balance. And the psychology of a fourth house Libra is Cancer is going to, the way the fourth house works, right? It's not really just home. The fourth house in astrology is what are the conditions with which I will feel at home in this space. Whether you're homeless on the streets, whether you're in an apartment, whether you're in a home, whether you're in a castle, if you do not feel there is this fairness, if you don't feel like there's this open air in order for you to balance your emotions and to express and connect and bridge how you feel, if there's no balance in these spaces, you will not feel comfortable. You will not have a foundation with which you can comfortably share your emotions, which is going to be that rationality of balance. And I know that I'm overusing the word home and balance, but yeah, no matter where you are, it's going to be the social, even though Cancer is the homebody, this is what, when you enter their home, they're going to be somewhat social in. Obviously, like you're any kind of space that opens up this egalitarian quality in nature, all right, versus a Capricorn that is going to be at home in a much more, I don't want to say militant, but raw space, right? Any space that enables them to be fully authentic. Now, on the opposition of this, authenticity is the legacy of Cancer. And because Aries is that 10th house career space, this is what aligns with Cancer's being the first to achieve something, or having this reputation of being no nonsense, or having the warrior aligned with, of course, the crab, ironically, which is why the crab is always seen as soft, but they will pinch you and cut you with their pincers. And I love this too, because statistically, Cancer is always number one when it comes to murders, crimes of passion. Like they didn't premeditate it. They just murked you in the moment, which I think is always hilarious. I mean, it's not funny at all. It's actually scary as fuck, but it makes sense. The water sign is going to boil over and oops, I killed you. Anyway, yeah. Yeah. So we activated this evolution with Jupiter in your sign. Okay. You have activated since 2013. The last time you had this evolution cycle, thus 12 years from 2013 to 2025. And you're going through a new cycle evolution. But this time, Saturn and Neptune are unveiling authority over these positions of success in career. The Neptunian 2012 up until now unlocking of your third eye has transcended the nature of your imagination and how your beliefs shape your philosophy. And so Saturn from 2023 made sure that you actually practice what you preach, and it has really constructed more of the hardware in the form of belief systems that make more tangible this intangible metaphysical quality of your imagination. And this is why Cancer is the psychic, because your third eye enables you to discern phenomena metaphysically through your imagination, which is not tangible. It is not real. It is not real. It's not real. It's not real. It's literally imagination. But then third house Virgo, you translate that literally. The dream to reality, of course, pipeline of magic that takes what you've imagined and aligns it with tangible, real world, real time experiences. So it's like, oh, I can see that your boyfriend is cheating on you right now. And you're not picking up anything physical to feel this, but it just so happens as you're saying that, that person's boyfriend is texting someone else, and she is like, you saw a vision of them talking to someone with red hair, and your imagination metaphysically has discerned the reality of now that person you spoke to, they caught their boyfriend with someone who has red hair. So we're taking a nonlinear process and connecting it linearly. That is psychic. Science still doesn't acknowledge this. So on a scientific level, your existence is gaslighted. Okay, even Pisces' entire existence is not even seen as real. So this is how this affects Cancer. This is how it affects Scorpio. That's what makes Pisces the legend or the fraud. Obviously, the fraud is going to be like, oh yeah, I see that you're going to have a new boyfriend. You just need to pay me $500 so that it happens. And it's like, it's not translating. It's just fake. Okay, so that's to let you know, does their Pisces match the Virgo? Anything they're imagining as above, so below aligns with a real-time thing. So Saturn has cleared that space for you. It has enabled your relationship with this third eye through your imagination to be consistent, to induce causality, and to be so filled with integrity you can rely on it. It has shaped a lot of the values and the beliefs that now apply into your 10th house of career. So Saturn and Neptune going through your 10th house is going to establish you more as an authority figure moving forward. And it's going to put you in more positions of authority so that you will be tested on how well you manage success. This is by very much so a make or break. And why that's even more important, Cancer rising and Cancer sun and Cancer moon, is we know the last couple of years ago, where was the North Node? It was in Aries. So the last couple of years quintessentially unlocked all the individual independent actions you are meant to take to prepare to secure success for you. It was having you move down the direction of your own authenticity that other people private to you in your social circle may not understand. Why are you doing that? Why are you trying to do that? This has never been done, Cancer. Like, what are you trying to do? This is delusional, because Saturn was constructing a vision for you that only you could see. And now this vision is unlocking while Saturn and Neptune are getting ready to carve through and construct this legacy. Chiron is in your 10th house, And so it is healing the vulnerability that comes in with you accomplishing your goals and holding yourself accountable and assertively to stand up for your goals. So that's where the fourth house Libra is going to break through this social foundation with which you rest on, so that you can go back around by next year and activate the relevant cycles that will have you pioneer this new world order. Because now the foundation you are creating in Libra is going to be the social support with which next year you will activate this new cycle of independence. And many of you are going to be pioneering independently ran projects that are going to issue you success for the next 30 years. This could be you re-ing up on a contract with who you're already with. This could be you going into free agency and just being independent yourself. And I'm telling you, Taurus, Cancer, Gemini, you guys have these amazing 10th house transits. Cancer, you're getting ready to pioneer this next 10th house. Neptune until 2039 is going to transcend the nature and quality of how your wildest dreams could be achieved here. And mind you, all this is happening with Jupiter expanding and leveling you up. So just like Kendrick Lamar won the rap battle and Trump won the elections and Gemini's leveled up, it's you leveling up right now. The Shannon Sharps, the Elon Musks, 50 Cent is a prime example of this as a Sun Saturn, because now what did he do? This is an artist who came into the game, who was signed to labels, who had to work with production companies, and he was their employee. He had to cut deals with them. Now he's created his own production company. And that's such a huge deal, because he is marking the unprecedented nature of individuals stepping into this level of production. Now I'm presuming the stuff that he puts off, he's going to fully own. He's not working with like stars. He's not working with another third party thing. And I'm using his as an example because it's going to mark what the rest of you guys will also be doing. What this bent into individuality looks like. I think it's something that's not being talked about enough, but it's a major new era coming through. And now what does that mean? That's what Saturn in the 10th means. So just like 50 Cent will put out a new project as a part of his own production studio, all the losses, right? If he was just signed, he got a check, right? He got a check to make the movie. Whatever victory that company gets, it's the company's. 50 Cent just got a check. Now, should that come into success, he's getting all of that. If it fails, he's eating that loss. That's what Saturn in the 10th means, is having you now come into this position of authority. Since 2003, which was the last time Saturn was in your sign, you are concluding this karmic cycle. So go back to 2013 with Jupiter, go back to 2003. Some of you weren't even born until after 2003, right? Which means you're Pluto Capricorn. You're either late Pluto Sag or Pluto Capricorn. And yeah, I don't think we have any Pluto Capricorns watching this. I think as of now, the range of people who watch me are Pluto Virgo to Pluto Sag. But if we have anyone born after 2008, if we have any Pluto Capricorns, you're welcome. All right, it's an honor. That being said, Saturn here is having you step into this responsibility. The difficulty that comes with stepping into success and maintaining success. Because now that I'm in my 30s, you know, we're taught, we society just has this obsession with success. I think you can tie this back to every age of human culture. There's just this insatiable obsession with success versus just the process as well. And like, you do everything to reach this success and not realize the whole purpose of responsibility is to protect you from success. Responsibility is not to protect you from failure. It's the biggest misconception that we have. Failure, if anything, is always going to be a lesson to help you adjust to success. Responsibility protects you from success, because your own success could be the worst thing to ever happen to you. Think about the people who have won the lottery. And now they've had so much money than they've ever had. And because of that, it's introduced them to people who are begging them for money. It's opened them up to be a target. And as is a real life story, someone has gotten murdered and killed so that their lottery win could be stolen from. So their success ended up getting them killed. And that's what management and responsibility is for. Management enables you to maintain success, because success could look like being viral overnight and getting all of this attention. You don't know what to do with it. And now your success is your downfall. And that's what this is going to really re-spark for you. As soon as we step into Aries season next year, and Mars will go into Aries, and you're going to really clear out this whole 9th house, 3rd house lesson. So unlike Capricorn, that is unlocking supernatural abilities, Cancer, you are using your critical perspective and your mastered abilities in order to unlock your philosophical approach towards divinity. And this is what enables you to adopt delusional ass religions or metaphysical philosophical approaches. Not every Cancer is delusional out here. And I don't mean actual people are Cancers, just the Cancer archetype. You have people who will innovate metaphysical sciences based on how well they're able to bridge the imagination with the testable, with the analysis, with the physical. And it carries forth the message we said for Capricorn, where we said Capricorn is reality warping, real time. Well, Cancer, this kind of works for you as well, where you are also, since March to September and the past 2 years, bridging every Pisces to Virgo season. This is what I saw in my imagination. This is what happened in real life. Oh, wow. So if you notice, and if you're a Cancer, I want you to comment number 4. If you've noticed this, at an increasing synchronization, events that happen in real life, you either had a dream about or you felt shortly before. And it's happening more increased. Maybe these occurrences would happen like once every year or once every month. Now it's happening like multiple times within the month. Like you can point out multiple times within the year where you had clear visions, insight, and understanding of phenomena you could have had no evidence would happen, and yet it happened exactly as you felt it. That is not normal. Let me remind you, that is not normal. That is psychic. That is at some point a supernatural capability that this South Node in Virgo is unlocking a tangible causality and control. What if you could realistically use precognition? What if realistically you had clairsentience, clairvoyance, clairgustorian, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Claircognizance. What if you were able to actually utilize this? This is what is now expanding in this next flow for you. And a lot of this, 99% of this is not in some woo-woo bullshit psychic way where it's like, I'm seeing a vision and I saw. These are going to be processed through everyday thoughts. You're going to think it's just a thought you're having because this process is so quick, in some cases quicker than picoseconds, that your brain can process. To you, it's going to be like just a thought in your brain, and yet it's a super psychic, supernatural function with which you have been mastering. And Heyoka nailed it. The whole thing with South Node Virgo is it's making it precise. It's aligning a sense of precision in order for you to bridge heaven and earth. So now Libra wants to institute this balanced foundation to add a logical, rational application to how you apply this socially with other people and what kind of comfort zone you'll be breaking through out of. And I like how Dominique said it's like first nature now, which lets us know you have passed the test. Okay, so of course Mars is going to be going through your 5th house. Venus is going to be polishing this recent eclipse of 6 months of breaking through your philosophical approach with now the attitude and mindset to tangibly practice this philosophical approach. So it's like, I believe this is my way of life. Now Virgo is you actually fleshing that out for real. And with Uranus going through your 12th house over the next 7 years, this is going to unconventionally release this sense of overthinking, and it's going to have you surrender to your weaknesses as far as overthinking, so that you stop overthinking and you innovate the way with which you surrender to this inner dialogue. And that's what's going to connect with how you apply that in these social spaces to secure this foundation, which of course now, as Mercury and Mars go into your 5th house and fully express this wisdom and creativity of the sauce. Because remember, Gemini got the juice. Cancer, you are the juice. Okay. So your inner child is all the sauce. Like, you fully express this juice and you thicken the consistency and you create sauce with it. Pause. I mean, that's not a pause worthy, but I just feel like saying pause. Now, with that being said, okay, this now will connect back to Neptune and Saturn in your 9th house to take this creativity and now strengthen more how this masters more your philosophy. This is going to now adjust your beliefs, which now shape who you feel you are and how you're expanding that with Jupiter. So yeah, you can look forward to that. As Venus will leave your 3rd house and now begin to polish the 4th at the end of Libra season. This is just going to revisit what it is you're breaking through. The full moon in Aries is going to help you feel what actions you're taking in your career to support more of this foundation and to make sure you're around the right people who help balance your thoughts and your emotions relative to this. And of course, the purpose of Libra season, which is adjusting the foundation with which you will accomplish these new goals, and this originality through your goals, in an effort, of course, to prepare for Scorpio season, where we'll go full throttle. And you'll come into a more psychoanalytical expression of this creativity. That being said, speaking of Scorpio, we do have now Mars in your sign. So like I was saying with Virgo, when Venus enters your sign, you're a lot more beautiful. People are going to notice so much more of your beauty. You're going to get better looks, especially for the rising. You're going to renovate your appearance, beautify your appearance. When Mars is in your sign, you're a lot more sexy. Scorpio is sexiness, but like Venus is going to really bring more of a Venusian, beautiful appearance. And then Mars is going to make you a lot hotter. Mars is going to add an assertiveness. Mars going through your sign makes it even cooler to shoot your shot, because you're just going to have that more aggressive assertion as well, which will be so much more alluring in Scorpio. To answer your question, when does Venus enter Scorpio? Venus isn't going to enter Scorpio until, I want to say, looks like November. So the week of the 9th of November, it's going to be there. Mercury is going to actually retrograde and then go back into Scorpio and meet with Venus. So you are getting pretty activated, Scorpio. We're going to see Mars, of course, in your sign. And then eventually in another week or two, Mercury will enter your sign around the week of like October 5th. So Mercury and Mars that will be in your sign during Libra season is going to really align this brain processing and assertion through, especially as it came out your 12th house in, of course, Libra. This will revive any energy. If you felt lethargic before, you're going to feel the fire. You're going to feel, of course, this forward movement, this desire, Mars's desire. And the reason why that's important is because Libra being your 12th house is unlocking and releasing unconscious habits. So the unconscious competence with which you demonstrate in relationships with others, especially those of you with Saturn or Pluto or other placements in Libra, is putting you in a position to release now the actions you used to take with others and how you're replacing that with new habits. This is exceptionally important because we know that coming back into Cancer season, we officially had Neptune and Saturn enter your sixth house. And that is the next major 2.5 year and 13-year chapter that Chiron has already pretty much healed. So Chiron in your sixth house is aligning self-healing. Okay. And relative to this quality of self-healing, Chiron through the sixth was highlighting vulnerabilities and how you integrate this level of healing into your work. So it's not uncommon to see Scorpio risings or even Scorpios be involved in nursing during this period, learning about nursing, medicine, healing. It doesn't have to do anything with being a doctor or nursing, but it's not uncommon for me to run into people who have this natally or who are going through this, because it is putting this healing planet into your sixth house of health, right? So that anything that needs to be brought to the surface to be healed, and how your ego may need to be, of course, released or quelled, will add more independence. Now, Jupiter 2023 went through this space, and it expanded what more you can do independently in your work, in your routine. It leveled up the work and the quality of work you do. So now Saturn over the next 2 years is going to add this authority to autonomize the independence you have in your work. Virgo went through this, and Libra is just now finishing through this. So for you Libra risings, for you Libra suns, you can help Scorpio understand the discipline that's going to be needed, as it took 2.5 years for Libra to discipline their belief systems in order to integrate these beliefs into their behavior. Well, for Scorpio, their behavior is independently influenced. And whereas for Virgo, it's advanced knowledge. And for Libra, it's their beliefs. For Scorpio, it's authenticity. How authentically and how individually and independently can they live their life? Can they live their routine? Which is amazing, because Taurus is the individual who's best friends with the homebody, Cancer, but they have a socially defined lifestyle. And then Scorpio is like the king of the social environment. Leo is the social king and queen. Scorpio is the social king and queen. The only difference between Leo and Scorpio is that Leo is daytime and Scorpio is nighttime. So the nighttime social circuit is the nightclub. It's the stripping, you feel? It's all the darker sexual stuff. It's the night restaurant. It's all the nighttime activity. It's after you leave. What is Scorpio rule? Sex. Obviously, you leave the club and then you do what? Right? So this is that end of the social circuit. And even though they're a social sign, they have an independently influenced behavior. And the work they do has to be authentic to them. It has to be exciting to them. So Saturn is going to take this expansion that Jupiter made, and it's going to activate more integrity and authority, to where by 2027, when Saturn leaves your sixth house, you can be dropped anywhere in the world, and you can literally, within 2 weeks, make a way of life, doing your own thing. So this is going to favor self-employment. This is going to favor working for yourself, right? Even if you work as an employee, you're going to have so much more discipline relative to how it is you really work on any health issues that come up. But Neptune over the next 13 years is going to transcend how it is you live your life, adding more fantastical supernatural elements to how original your life is. And that's why Libra is important, because now Libra is going to be based on the individual actions that govern how you live your life. Libra are going to be the social actions that release unconscious habits you no longer need to express. Classic example. Now that Saturn is disciplining your lifestyle, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. This could be what you say. I'm no longer smoking cigarettes. So now during Libra season, you're going to see the 6 months of working on this habit manifest as how? The social actions with unconscious habits, where unconsciously you're asking your friends for cigarettes, or your friend offers you a cigarette and you just unconsciously take it. Now it's like, oh, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. You're releasing those socially defined habits. And that's just a basic example. It's way more complex than this. 12th house Libra is so complex. It deals with anything from clandestine relationships. You know what I'm saying? Scorpio, more than anyone, someone's romantic partner is going to want to get with you. Scorpio is going to attract a lot of married people. And it's not specific to zodiac sign, but it's not uncommon. You know what I mean? And this is, of course, platonically or romantically going to release certain relationship dynamics and contacts that no longer align with how you are living your life. Who is holding you back from living a disciplined lifestyle? Who is supporting that? This is everything the South Node in Libra the past 2 years really helped you unlock. So now that coming into 6 months from now, where we're going to have the conjunction with the Sun and Neptune here that's going to officially activate this. This is applying the creativity of your talents, because now the North Node and Saturn and Pisces have been disciplining your creative talents and inner child. The belief systems that enable you to fully express your talents and how divine and imaginative you are able to really, of course, stretch out and master all this. That creativity you're going to apply to how authentic your lifestyle is over the next 2 years. So that's what brings us to Jupiter in your 9th house, where you're being challenged around expanding the meaning of what you feel and the philosophical approach defined by your feelings, so that that challenges how authentic your lifestyle is. The more sincere my philosophical approach, well, the more authentic and disciplined my lifestyle has to be to match with what I'm expanding, what I could achieve. And what is this preparing you for? Jupiter getting ready to go into your 10th house in Leo, because you're going to have a success revolution. You're going to have the North Node and Pluto in your 4th and the South Node and Jupiter unlocking all the success to really transform this cosmic foundation, with Pluto currently in your 4th, that I think is going to expose a lot of hidden things in your life, but nuclearly bomb all the stuff that needs to be released and needs to be cleared, so that you are revolutionizing your comfort zone and you are innovating who you can trust, which is going to add so much more wealth. Hence, every 2 weeks in a month where the moon goes in your 2nd house in Sagittarius, you're seeing how much richer you can be because of these unconventionally made investments. So with Venus in your 11th house, unlocking this social support to align with this autonomy and independence of creativity, right? North Node in your 5th will enable some of you to be able to be independent off of what you love, but having that real analyzed support relative to how people will support what you're creating. Venus is polishing up that space before it goes back into 12th and takes the previous 6 months where we were getting ready to put Neptune into Aries. And now, of course, prepare for you to release these unconscious habits to come back around 6 months later, where, of course, we will have this activation in your 6th. And then, of course, 6 months from then, Jupiter and the South Node in your 10th. Okay, getting ready for you to complete the evolution cycle that you had started since 2018 when Jupiter was back in Scorpio. So that's what makes, of course, this Libra season one where you can literally take off. I would take off this entire Libra season if I were you. I would just kind of really just lock in, just allow yourself to release what no longer serves you, what you're no longer really working on and for. Neptune is going to go back into the 5th. So this is going to really just reevaluate and review how important and how meaningful a lot of what you're even doing is. And I'm saying that so you don't necessarily push yourself harder than you have to. All right. Especially because during Scorpio season, Jupiter will begin retrograde. So the square that we're going to have in your 12th house, or if you're a Scorpio sun or moon, the Libra sun is going to be 330 to 360 degrees behind your natal Scorpio sun or moon. What this is going to create is this square between the 12th house Libra sun and the 9th house Jupiter, and T square with Chiron in the 6th. So this is going to be breaking through the previous 6 month ago conjunction that you had on Chiron in your 6th And everything you've activated relative to self-healing in your routine, you're breaking through by seeing how you apply this unconsciously in relationships with others and how that directly challenges with this superb, sexy as fuck T-square at 24 degrees. Look at how sexy this is and how this is going to challenge your philosophy, right? Now, let's talk about ninth house Cancer. What is ninth house Cancer? Scorpio is psychoanalysis. Virgo is analysis. Scorpio is psychoanalysis. It is a psychological depth of your feelings. And one thing about the wisdom of psychoanalysis is now with ninth house in Cancer, through psychoanalysis, we can look into the meaning of one's emotions. This is why Scorpios are so expert at reading your feelings. Like as an air sign, I can see you be emotional in a certain way, and I'm gonna seek to gaslight you. I'm gonna be like, get the fuck out your feelings. Like, why are you getting emotional? A Scorpio can see why you're feeling the way you're feeling, both death and death. It can be like, oh, this person's very emotional right now. I think I've triggered a button. I think when I talk about this, they're not able to really prove what they're saying, and they get like they can psychoanalyze. This is why Scorpio is like one of the most dangerous zodiac signs ever, because if I can psychoanalyze you in a moment, I have spotted your weaknesses, and now I have you in the palm of my hand. And every Scorpio is able to do this instantly, effortlessly, as a social ruler. And it really now also within their own selves helps them now see the meaning of their own emotions and use that in order to teach people, of course, how to be more aware of this more irrational, non-linear, intangible, because now the ninth house of vision is in an intangible function of feeling. And this is what adds more to the psychic wisdom and ability. So now the unconscious social activity is going to make sure that this expansion of your emotions and how you see into the meaning of these feelings adjust and shift appropriately. How it is you are rising. For you Scorpio risings, this is your rising star year before Jupiter completes in the 10th house. All right. And yeah, that's what we can look forward to that. And last but not least, we have Pisces. We have the magical fishies. All right. Pisces, y'all are cooked. No, I'm just joking. You're not cooked. First of all, congrats. Neptune has finished out your sign. It's retrograding back in your sign. It's not going to be, by the time we reach December, it'll be direct. And it'll never be in your sign again as soon as we reach like March. Okay. So Poseidon, I don't know how Poseidon did it, but you guys got away with it again. It's so unfair. You have to understand that your OG Neptune got away with the most heinous crime ever. It finessed an entire population and humanity of people. A lot of the delusions and the illusions we believe now is because of fucking Neptune. And the last time it was in Pisces around the 1800s. And we decided we could never have that happen again. So what we did was we waited. We were like, okay, Neptune's going to come back in 2012. And this is when we're going to apprehend Neptune. We're going to have Saturn meet with Neptune in its sign. We're going to arrest Neptune, and we can never let this happen again. And you know what Neptune did? Neptune got away with this shit again. Neptune embarrassed everybody and used Pisces to do it. Okay, so like imagine before we were like, well, we didn't have smartphones, we didn't have pictures, we didn't have all this ability to quantify what's happening. Now we had all the ability. We knew when Neptune was going to come through, and Neptune still got away with it and embarrassed everybody. Yeah, Hades took a plea deal, but Neptune clean got away with it. And what Neptune does is it wipes the memories of Pisces. So you try and get the information from Pisces, and they're delulu as shit. You can't get shit from them. There's the other fish that knows exactly what's happening, but they neuralize themselves. So they don't even know what the fuck you trying to say. And they probably know, but they can't put it into words. And now y'all got all the plausible deniability. Hades Deadass took a deal. We were expecting Poseidon to take the plea and then Hades to get away with it. Hades took the plea. That shit threw us all the way off. And Poseidon got a fucking way with it. So every time you see Pisces now, they're going to have this knowing smile like, ha, Neptune's in Aries now. We got away with it. But they probably, are there any big Pisces politicians? That's a good question. Actually, that's a really good question. I don't really know. All right. So it is what it is. You're going to have the few Pisces. Yes, Pisces moons, Pisces risings, Pisces suns. The Pisces moons are divine souls. They're like divine vessels and conduits of the universal astral realm. So all y'all have extrasensory perception. The Pisces moon feels the unseen. Argue with your mama. Cash Patel is a Pisces. I didn't know that. See, my whole thing with Cash is that I feel like he's genuinely doing his job, but people don't believe him. And like, I feel like Cash Patel was given the hot potato. And he went in as the director of FBI, and he's doing a really good job. But the Epstein list is overshadowing everything else good the FBI has done. All right, like the FBI has actually done amazing relative to the last administration, but everyone's just so focused on this list, it's overshadowing that. And it's making it look like he a straight fraud. And I have the belief that Cash Patel is actually doing his job. And he's not hiding anything. He just knows how things will look. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. This is what I'm picking up intuitively. But I didn't know he was born Pisces season. That's very interesting. Now, with that being said, you feel me? The Pisces sun sees the unseen. Okay. I don't argue with your mom about this. Pisces moon feels the unseen. Pisces sun sees the unseen. Okay. Yes. In another world, Janae and I were married, but she got with Big Sean instead. And I'm happy for the both of them. And that's beautiful. I'm not even going to hate. Even though that she could have been my boo and it is what it is. I'm just gonna let that go. Big Sean is a good person. So I'm not even mad. But that being said, you feel me? Janae Aiko was like our generation's Erykah Badu. Especially because they both have Pisces sun and North Node on their moon. They're both the Pisces destiny. Okay, I'll let you have that, Elisha, even though you don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. I'm gonna just pretend that you ain't even say that for real. It's cool. It's cool. I'm joking. That being said, you feel me? Pisces, they can see the unseen. Pisces rising is literally a portal. If you've ever seen a Pisces rising, they literally embody the astral realm, which is weird. It's fucking weird, actually. It's strange as fuck. There's nothing normal about that. So let's just contemplate the fact that Pisces suns can see the unseen and Pisces moons can feel the unseen, and they're not going to tell you. Now, to their defense, they do tell you, but you call them delusional. And I'm not going to lie. A lot of them don't have Gemini, so they just suck at putting it into words. Like they really suck at communicating it. So now they're trying to tell you of a phenomena that exists with which languages around our culture haven't been able to lexiconize. And so now they just come off as delusional, but they still experience the unseen. And most of this is nonlinear. Most of this is in a way where it wouldn't really make logical sense as well. And so, yeah, they not going to tell you. I'm going to be completely honest. And I love Flowing Through Pines. She's actually Virgo. Virgo knows this dynamic with Pisces because they have to vet Pisces and make sure what they're seeing is actually legit. Okay. Or you put it into words and it activates something wild in them. I'm terrible at putting into words. Another thing with Pisces is they can inadvertently quantum superposition it. So Pisces has this weird dilemma where it's like it doesn't exist right now, but if I bring your attention to it, then it's gonna happen. And now I'm low-key the reason it happened. Like another thing Pisces don't tell you is that they're low-key behind most of the heinous events that occur in our society, but they know that you wouldn't believe them if they told you. And they're not trying to tell you that they're low-key the reason a school shooting happened because they had a dream of it or because they actually flipped a coin coin. They're like, let me flip a coin. And if it hits tails, then I'm going to go to school. But if it hits heads, then something's going to happen in my work that's going to make it so that I don't have to go to work. And now because this lazy ass Pisces wanted to skip work and they got heads, someone shot up their work. And now nobody knows why a shooter came into work. And the Pisces is the only one that knew, damn, I just did a coin flip. I just did a fucking coin flip. I didn't know that my work was going to get shot up. Why are you here, Pisces? This is your fault. Everything that happens is always because of you. Okay? Wait till I write the book. This shit really happens, fam. I didn't believe it. I thought they were delusional. And they are sometimes. This shit really happens, bruh. Why do you niggas even exist? What are you even doing here? What are you even doing here? You're not even really here. What the fuck? Bro, when I learned that shit about them, I don't look at Pisces the same anymore. That's why I have to ask your zodiac sign. I'm like, what is your Pisces? How dare you exist? Why do you even exist for real? Is the top 5 questions I will ever, if I ever dated a Pisces woman, that'll be question 1 or 2. So, wow, you look very gorgeous. Thank you for coming out with me. Nice. So why do you exist? Why did you just decide to exist? Do you even know you exist? Do you know you're here in the most straight face way ever? I'm going to say, like, do you know you're warping our reality right now? Do you know you being here puts my life at risk? I just wanted to know. You're so bad and gorgeous, though. You have this etheric, dreamy gorgeous, and I can't resist you. But I thought I would ask, do you even care that you're going to tell me you do, but do you? So it could be the other way around. Like, Pisces is the martyr. So there's another form of this where it's like, we're only alive because of Pisces' whim right now. Like, if Pisces collectively wanted to summon an ocean to just drown all of humanity, they could do it right now. But thankfully, they're not in their element. They're fish out of water, and we can distract Pisces with escapism. So because we can attract the archetype with drugs, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, pornography addiction, and other such escapist tendencies, we have bought ourselves some time. The reason why the world has not just ended overnight is because Pisces collectively around the world have decided it's not time for us to be flooded by the ocean waters yet. And that just, I don't like that. And soon Pluto will go into Pisces and they're going to awaken. So like, it makes me wonder, are we really just alive because some beyonders have a porn addiction and they're not bored with that yet? Like, seriously, Pisces could be the reason why a certain job still actually is alive. Like, I know a Pisces in this chat who's the reason why a certain person doesn't have a lot of unsubscriptions in their certain app or not, and that if he wanted to, a lot of the people who support that app can just unsubscribe from it right now. This is how Pisces could have the button to your success in their hand or not, and you will never know. And you will never know. The Pisces politicians are the shadow government that live at the bottom of the ocean. They read me like a filthy book. Do you see why I make fun of Pisces in my videos now? Y'all should not even be allowed to exist. Real shit. I'm gonna be honest. In fact, it's because of you that I respect Virgo now. Okay, like, I do respect Pisces. I respect Pisces and Aquarius, but it's because of you I love Virgo. I used to hate Virgo growing up. I used to like Pisces because I'm like, oh, y'all are magical. Man, I believe in magic. I used to hate Virgo with they super critical asses. And you're just a hater. You're just a hater. You're just a hate. Now the older I get, I'm like, I fucks with you, Virgo. You just real. You be hating, but you just a real motherfucker. You was just being real this whole time. And now I look at Pisces like, what the fuck are you doing here, man? How did you just walk into the room, cut the line, and have everything just magically work out for you? I'm wondering, did I just see this? I don't know, Pisces. I don't fucking know. I just do the question mark asterisk. Like, why are you really here? Like, I just don't know. And you have helped me appreciate Virgo so much more. At least Virgo really do the magic. At least Virgo really does the work. They don't just slap their fingers, click their heels 3 times, and then shit just happen for you. How are you that magical, Pisces? This shit make no sense. I can't stand that shit. It is what it is. And yes, I'm jealous as fuck. Yes, most of this anger is coming straight out of pure jealousy because ain't no way you just be making shit happen like this. Anyway, my rant over. I spent your entire Libra season prediction just roasting you and just being jealous real quick. I just had to get that out the way. Pisces barely, and that's true. Y'all barely want to be here. You escaping every other day, and I understand. This dimension is ghetto as fuck. I understand. See, Pisces, a lot of people don't know Pisces comes from the most luxurious dimension. Like anything they imagine, it just happens, right? Now you put them out of water. And it's like, what you mean I gotta wait? What the fuck is time? Like Pisces knows time doesn't exist. Invite them somewhere. They're gonna show up 3 hours late. But somehow they showed up right when the party started. You motherfuckers make absolutely no sense. And the logical Gemini, I mean, it just pisses the logical part of me off. Like, how the fuck? What are we? Anyway, that being said, y'all, Saturn is in your sign. And Saturn is forcing you to believe in yourself in a way that is akin to a magical sitcom with magicians or witches. And like, lesson, that TV show lesson where it's like the person who had magic powers every episode, they lose their magic powers. And now you've relied so much on your magic. This season is all right. For an entire season, you don't have your magic to rely on. Like, the plot device that you'll have in every show. And then there's that episode or season where now that person has to rely on just their own wits. And then you realize the magic was within me the entire time. And I didn't need to rely on hand signs or my magic wand. That's what all Pisces are going through. It's fucking hilarious because since 2023, I have been seeing Pisces who manifest effortlessly now have their pool depleted. Their mana pool is being entirely reworked to make sure that you're not just believing in the wrong parts of yourself. So now I'm seeing Pisces struggle to manifest. Now it's like, what happened, Peace Dealer? Like everything was working really good for me. Now it's not. It's not that things aren't working for you. It's that you're being tested to see, do you really believe in yourself or were you just believing in the results? Do you really believe in yourself, Pisces? Or were you just believing in the results because the thing with Pisces is your presence is so fucking magical. You just enter a room and shit kind of aligns with you. That's the principle for everyone, but you embody this. So now Saturn has constricted and limited this to make sure you reposition the integrity of belief. Saturn was like, let me make you blind to your effect. So we see is your belief in yourself dependent on the evidence of it? Because if it is, now you're not going to see. I'm going to make sure you don't see it. And what's happening? Some of you are not believing in yourself anymore. It's like, well, I don't know what happened. Why is this? And all Saturn wants you to know is your magic is fuck whether you see the evidence or not. So for those of you who've passed this test, you've realized I don't need to keep seeing synchronicities. I don't need to keep seeing these whatever. I'm fucking mad. I'm the reason behind everything. I'm the divine being. I will always believe in myself regardless. That's literally your only lesson. And I'm glad someone asked for Saturn Pisces. In a sense, it does apply for Saturn Pisces. If you're Saturn Pisces, you're going through a Saturn return. And so for y'all going through your Saturn return, it's testing the integrity of your belief systems. So if you can't practice what you preach, the Saturn return is going to demolish your beliefs so that you can reconstruct those beliefs. And Saturn Pisces, this is affecting hardware reality warping through your belief systems, literally reality warping. So like If you are able to practice what you preach, you've passed the Saturn Pisces test. It's just for Pisces rising and Pisces sun. Brother, you are embodying the synchronicity. You are the ultimate synchronicity. You are embodying this belief of self. So now the breakthrough from March to September was you taking this belief in yourself, the authenticity and identity of your value, second house Aries, the actual now quality third house Taurus of your mindset, Gemini, which expanded the thought process that supports your beliefs, right? So I believe I'm a godlike being. Now, Gemini was expanding the thoughts you think. Oh yeah, everything works out for me. All my work is effortless. I'm just a raw ass motherfucker. I'm so amazing, right? And now Virgo is the breakthrough September of how you take this belief in yourself and the thoughts that support your belief in yourself and how you behave and demonstrate those beliefs towards other people. So now Libra is taking this second house Aries of defining your worth, because that's what the next issue is. As we're going to step 6 months into, of course, how it is you'll be activating all these qualities of your worth, you're going to be activating a whole new era of your individual value. And that's why Chiron is healing the vulnerability of you defining that worth, because Pisces, you are around a lot of muggles. The most retarded, I don't know if I can say the R word, so I'm not offending anyone by saying retarded. I hope I'm not. But the stupidest thing I'll ever see is a Pisces muggle. There is no one more delusional than a muggle Pisces. I'm saying even atheists, like it would make more sense to see an atheist Pisces. I can respect a Pisces who's atheist, right? Because they're outside and beyond religious interpretations of God. But like a muggle Pisces, it's fucking hilarious. They're some of the most hilarious people, because how are you delusional and a muggle when you are literal magic? Pisces is literally the crystallization of miracle magic. So it's very rare to see a Pisces that's a muggle. And it's the most hilarious shit ever. It's like, fam, how are you lying to yourself? How are you so delusional you're lying to yourself about your own magical potential? That's how rare it is. Most Pisces you'll see are a little loopy and delulu because they're magic as fuck. And they're a fish outside their element. In fact, their magic kind of makes them a little cuckoo. Like they just gonna be believing in all sorts of stuff. But the thing that's cool about Pisces, who's the person on the board connecting everything, Pisces connects everything together. So Pisces is going to see how that janitor is involved in this conspiracy theory. And it's never going to make sense until it makes sense. And that's the thing, Pisces. You're not Virgo. So a lot of the facts that you try and tie things together won't be factual, but you're feeling something that's real. You just don't know how to put it together. So you'll feel the truth, but you may use lies or unfactual things to try and get those feelings together because you're headed in the right direction, but you just don't have those facts yet. So that can cause people to gaslight you. And that can cause you to believe like, okay, you're just delusional when you're using a non-linear approach in order to get to the truth. This is how maybe you may not always use what's factual, but you're still headed in the right direction. You're still picking up on something. You just can't put your finger on it yet. So Saturn has, of course, not only been testing this, but now Libra is applying this definition of your original value, right? Because you are magic, you're dealing with a lot of people who it won't make sense to them. For example, original value with Aries second house is, this is my appearance fee. You want me to come into your club, right? You need to pay me $2,000. And they're going to look at you like, bitch, you need to pay us to get into the club. What are you talking about? And they don't understand that you have presence to where once you're in the club, their sales go up 60%. Predictably. So it's like, no. If I'm going to do all this, I'm going to define my value of what that's worth. And that's what Chiron is here. Chiron is you feeling like you're not valuable enough. It's healing this sense of you feeling like you're not worth it enough by assertively stepping in and maintaining this value, because it's going to look delusional as fuck to other people. You're defining an original sense of this. And so once Saturn and Neptune go through, so you're going to reimagine how much more potently you can manifest this fire through how you identify your value, how you identify your worth. But yeah, please do not be one of these muggle Pisces out here. You guys are supposed to be the delusional magic ones that teach us magic and help us be more delulu. Because out of every single great innovation that we have ever had, it comes from delusion. Ironically, you just don't want to be too delusional, but like it is a bit of delusion that enabled one to think they can actually create a plane, that enabled one to think they can create artificial intelligence. It wasn't entirely delusion. A lot of this is also met with reason and logic, but you have to be somewhat delusional to even think outside of what is currently logical right now to make that real. So, I mean, regardless, Libra season is going to really now transform your dealings with others, and it's going to balance how you're going to be investing this original value towards others, especially with this opposition of the Sun to Chiron. And what's that going to square? That's going to square your 5th house with your 8th house. Jupiter has been expanding your creative talents. That's going to kick into this occult 9th house philosophy of how now, remember, we did say that Scorpio has Cancer in the 9th house, right? That shows the meaning of emotions. Well, Pisces is divinity. What is the philosophy of divinity? The occult. Remember, divine is representative of that which is outside the physical and outside of traditional conventional means. So now the philosophical approach towards a divine magic and dream magic is going to be the 9th house vision of the hidden, the occult. This is the meaning of wisdom, 9th house Scorpio. So this is going to be transforming. And now why is that significant? Because for Pisces, the supernatural breakthrough with Pluto in your 12th house is taking this activation of the supernatural release and supernatural awakening of this unconscious competence, which is claircognizance. You're awakening unconsciously competent claircognizance. So this is you at an unconscious competent level, just knowing shit without knowing why you know. So now out of nowhere, you're just like, oh, here's the remote. And you don't even know why you threw that person the remote. And now that person's like, Pisces, how the fuck did you know that I was going to ask you for the remote control? You do shit like this all the time. First of all, this is why I hate you, Pisces. You do shit like this all the time. And like the shit you make look casual pisses me off, yo. I saw a video of a gorgeous Pisces woman, by the way, Sun, Saturn, Pisces. Y'all just say the most casual shit. Like, yeah, so I sat down and immediately as I sat down, it just started thunderstorming and raining. And that was fun. And that was cool. And then I left. And it's like, did you just casually describe weather manipulation and how you summoned a storm with you at your epicenter? And that was just your everyday. That was just another day for you. Like, y'all do this shit all the time and I can't stand it. It's like, what the fuck is this? So y'all can summon storms at will. Y'all can just warp reality. Y'all can pretty much influence the entire collective because you felt like it that day. And it's just going to be nothing to you. You're going to do that shit all the time. You're going to be like, oh, by the way, 25. And like for the past 5 minutes, I was thinking of 25, 25, 25. Oh, there's 25 numbers this. And then your Pisces ass is just going to randomly look at me like 25 and then walk away like, bitch, why did you just say 25 right now? What is this? Holy shit. And then you just go act like you don't know. You do it on purpose. You have that other, but listen, as a Gemini, I know you. Okay, we have our dark twin. You have that dark fish that cares about nothing more than just trolling people. And then Pisces commits to the bit. So like they will just stay in troll form and they will never stop. This is why Tyler, the creator, has 3 seasons of Loiter Squad. Who does that? which is legendary, by the way. But like, still. And this is the stuff the trickster Aquarius is going to be aware of and then keep silent about. This is why I don't trust them either. Because like, you are the reason why Pisces is diabolical as they're diabolical. And you know all that and you don't tell anybody. Anyway, you're going to awaken this just knowing without knowing why you know. And this is going to seek to transform more of your ability to show people the occult, to show people this hidden facet of your philosophy. And that's Mars and Mercury pushing forward. And we're going to step into Scorpio season where you're going to fully like break through this completion. And yeah, I know I basically spent this entire thing ranting on you, and I don't regret it because y'all do not need astrological insight from Aquarius and Pisces. You don't need astrological insight from me. I need to be going to you. To be completely honest, tell me what's up. Like y'all don't need to know the details. You are the definition of being. This is why Ralph Smart will tell you, oh, you don't need astrology. He's right to a degree. You guys have transcended that because life is all about being. So we're not waiting for transits to tell us how to be. You can just be it now, and then everything is going to warp around you. But that being said, you know, it's good to know that you're breaking through. This is the second stage of your harvest through Libra, and it's applying this action socially that's going to transform your belief in self, because now you've broken through this harvest since the eclipse in your sign. And this is going to prepare for you to take these social investments and then really kick off this Aries cycle in your second, which is going to realistically just shift the way you own this worth and value. Anyway, this was fun. This was very fun. I do look up to you guys. I look up to Aquarius. I look up to Pisces. That's why I try and make fun of you guys as much as possible, because I'm mostly just jealous as fuck. Like, there ain't no way you're this bad. Like Pisces is who Gemini wishes they were. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like just getting away with everything you try and do and say. We do it, and then people hate us for it. Every time we try and act like, the only one who can get away with that is Kanye West. All the Pisces, Moon, Geminis, like Ye, Freddie Gibbs, Prince, they're the only ones who get away with this shit, and even not all the way. So, like, we try and say stuff and get away with it. The whole world wants to hate us and kill us, but Pisces will do it, and people are like, good idea, Pisces. It's like, are you fucking serious? You try to cancel us for saying that? I'm done. Yes. For example, you know how Ye said what he said about Hitler? Erykah Badu said that a long time ago too. It's just Erykah Badu wasn't as crazy as Ye and saying this, but I mean, people pushed back at her for saying this, but she didn't get canceled. Then again, Ye did a little bit more than that as well. But like, you feel me? Like, he literally got away. Well, not really. They banned the song in many countries, and then he had to make an edited version. But he kind of did. See, that was just his get back arc, because y'all tried to cancel him, and now he's like, you know what? I'm going to say what I want to say. You can't cancel me. That's why he's legendary as fuck for me. He's the Gemini who made it. Him and President Trump. You guys stay blessed as always. And until next time, peace.